Hello neighbors, it's Brad here from Etrailer, and today we are in Elkhart, Indiana at the RV Open House, where we have quite a few of our vendors that we're going to take a look at some of their products and some of their offerings and get a nice close look at them. And today I'm talking with Pat from Hughes Auto Formers. They have a Power Watchdog, and I got the chance to install one of these with a hardwired system, and I really saw the light as to why they're important. So Pat, what is a Power Watchdog?
Power Watchdog is a surge protector. It's a surge protector that I invented about 6 years ago. And it's a surge protector that came out with two unique things that no one had at the time, and one remains unique to this day. And that is a phone app and a replaceable surge protector module. So what prevents surges from going to your RV is inside this module. So everyone else's surge protector, and to this day, when you use up your surge protection, based upon how many surges you receive, it wears out. And when ours wears out, you get a notification on your phone saying you've used all your surge protection up, dial this toll-free number, and we will send you a free one. Theirs gets used up, you throw the entire surge protector away. So if you may have paid $400 or $500 for it, it's going in the trash, you got to buy a new one. Ours, no. So you get a free module, you can install it yourself, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, it's not that hard. It's pretty simple. There it is. If you want to do that, you can have your tech do it at your local RV service center. So that's the two things we introduced to the market.
So the Power Center looks a little bit different than the traditional Watchdog, but you're getting a lot of the same protection and then some additional benefits. So what do we have here?
We have everything that the Watchdog surge protector does. It's all in here. It's all the Gen 2 technology, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, communicates anywhere on the planet as long as you have a Wi-Fi hookup. But the key thing and the most important thing in an RV park is correcting low voltage. This is the only product on the market that will solve the #1 problem in RV parks, is low voltage. And this product does that. It's only been on the market since July of 2025, but it's making an impact on the aftermarket RV business. And what this thing is doing is turning that 104 volts into 113 or 114 right in there volts. It's a usable voltage. It's not a great voltage. It's not as good as 120 volts, but it's usable. As you can see, I don't know if you can see our ad, but the magazine ad right there, but you can see that literally in the park, people will be in the dark and you will have your lights on. You can watch TV and they're sitting in the dark because they're shut off. They can't get a breaker to stay on, or their systems have shut them down because the volt's too low. Ours, you can click in and watch TV. You have a usable voltage. People will say, hey, isn't your product stealing power? How can you have your lights on? All we're doing is changing that low voltage, that 104 to 113, 114. That's all we're doing. That's simple. We're presenting the voltage in a form that modern appliances can use. The other form, 104 versus 10% more amps, is harmful. So that's the difference. This is the only product that's going to solve that problem.
Not only are you getting protection, which is one of those things, it's out of sight, out of mind, but if it prevents you from having to replace one AC or one appliance, it's insurance, and
Exactly.
It's peace of mind. But also, you're going to feel results, probably not only just savings of protection, but AC, will you notice it's going to be better?
You're going to notice it's better because as volts drop, if you drop your voltage 10%, which in this case it's almost 20%, your torque, the torque on your motors drops 19%. So your volts drop 10%, but your motors become 19% weaker. So it's harder for them to turn on. They can't turn as fast because they can't push that air. So when you hook this thing up, your air conditioner is going to run at least 25% more efficiently. I know it's a 19% torque, but 19% torque equals a lot more airflow. And we've done research, and our customers will back us up on this. If you're in an RV, airflow on your air conditioner is critical, and you need enough volts to get that thing to start. Sometimes if you get in low volt situations, the AC will just sit there and hum. It won't turn on. This thing's going to get you the volts to get that thing rolling and to get that thing putting out 25% more air.
That's awesome. So again, you get peace of mind knowing that you've protected all of your electrical components on your RV. You can go to any campsite, which, you know, again, some are really good. Some of them, I don't know if I trust the power, but you don't have to worry, and you can get all the efficiency. So, you know, a lot of times people will upgrade an AC to get more. Well, if you protect your RV and have that power from the power center, you're going to get more efficiency out the gate. So definitely something worth looking at. If you're not protected, it is something that I think everyone should do.
Even if it's a modern RV park, electrical theory dictates that the volts are going to drop, because as the platform is set at 120 volts when you get to the park. As soon as you start turning things on, it has to drop. It's this you're squeezing all this through a wire. But what people don't know is, if you read the specs on how they build RV parks, the more RVs you put in a park, let's say you design it for 10. Well, if you design an RV park for 10 RVs only, you have to supply them, I think, 90 to 100% of 50 amps, if it's a 50 amp circuit. If they have 100 RVs in there, they only have to supply 40% of that 50 amps. Believe it or not, it's incredible, but that's the way the spec reads, because it saves the park owner money from having to put huge cables in the ground to supply you the power you're paying for. So another reason to get this is you're going to get the power you're paying for, and unfortunately the people who don't have one aren't. Now this is our generation 2 here, and we've introduced a lot of different things here. We have a side entry, and where the plug comes in here, we have a light to illuminate it if you're hooking up at night, which happens a lot. We have a dust cover, goes over, keep the dust out when you're not using it. And we have a side door that covers the plug, so you're water resistant, watertight. And it'll come out here. We have a lock here. You can put a lock here at this little loop, and we have a lock up here. I know people are very concerned with security. We hear it all the time. I don't think there's that big of a problem, but these are locks up. We sell locks. You can get a lock, but you got 2 locks on this one. So that's one of the things we did. Another thing we did on the new one, if you'll notice, this wire is in the back, not in the middle. So I moved this back. So if you come to an RV park that has a flat, not a pedestal like this, but a flat pedestal, this will sit flat against the pedestal. There'll be no stress, because the stress point goes straight through. It's a design feature that's hard to, we didn't notice it, but it's a big deal. Everyone else has to plug in the front. So if you plug this thing in, a flat one, or even this one, it's pulling this way. The stress is, this thing leans back, because it's a pretty heavy cable. So ours plugs in the side, and the stress goes straight down. There's no tugging. This stays securely inside the inlet. So it's a unique feature. It's one that's, it's hard to detect. The other thing about the Gen 2 is it's Wi-Fi. Our first one was Bluetooth for the phone app. Now it's Wi-Fi. Now we can communicate, you can communicate, I should say, with your RV from anywhere on the planet. So if you're gone for a couple days from your campground, you can shut your air conditioning off. You come back and turn it back on. It gives you that option. You see exactly what's going on with your RV wherever you're at. You can be in Chicago, it could be in Florida, and you can see it. So it's a huge advantage. No one else has that, by the way. Another safety issue in parks is shared hot skin. If there's a loss of ground in the park, you're sharing the bad voltage leaks with your neighbors. Now, a lot of people aren't aware of it, but there's a gentleman called Mike Sokol. He has an online blog, and he's done a lot of research on this. And a lot of people are injured, a lot of pets are killed every year because you share your neighbor's short when the park loses its ground. So to prevent that from happening, we have this simple wire here. We cut the ground wire as well as the power lines, the hot and the neutral. This is the hot, neutral, hot. This is the ground. The ground gets disconnected, so you don't share power with your neighbors if there is a loss of ground in the park. Simple thing, but it makes a big difference safety-wise.
So we have 30 amp as well as 50 amp, but also you have the plug-in style like this. You can also hardwire it directly to your RV, so you don't have to take anything with you. Are there any benefits or advantages to it?
The benefit is it's inside the RV, so it's out of the weather and it's out of the eyes of evildoers. So it's inside the RV. You just have to hook your wire in. One wire goes in here. This is not removable right now. I could remove it, but you just there's terminals you attach to in here, and you attach this to your wall, and you're good to go. Or you can just lay it on the ground inside your bottom of your RV if you'd like.
If you're not super comfortable, if you're saying, hey, is it wired up correctly? Did I do a good job? Color's going to tell you pretty quickly if you did it correct.
Yes. This one's in error mode. And by the way, here is the surge module that's replaceable right here. This comes right out. So there it is.
A lot of applications then, so you can get it, again, if you want to take this to each campsite, maybe you have different campers or whatever it may be, you can hardwire that in. But you know, a lot of the issue, it seems like at campsites, some are better than others, is not voltage spikes per se, it's a lot of low voltage, isn't it?
Right. Low voltage is the biggest problem in a park because it's constantly occurring. It's naturally occurring because you can hook up 8 RVs on a circuit, they all turn their air conditioners on, the volts have to go down because you're drawing all that power. The volts will sink, and then the motors, transformers, microwaves, they want their power. So what they'll do is they'll draw more amps. When they draw more amps, they create heat. The heat in the wires, heat in the inlets, and heat on their circuit boards, and heat in their motors. Sometimes they'll burn up within days. Sometimes it's a process. You're weakening the insulation systems constantly, but you're causing harm to your RV. And when you get to a voltage that's kind of catastrophically low, like 102, anyone who has voltage protection on their RV is going to shut off. But as you can see on our handy phone app, somehow we're getting 104 volts from the park, but we're providing our customer, the user, the RV owner, with 113 volts. Not a great voltage, but a usable voltage. This is not usable. So, how do we do it? We're doing it with the new product, Watchdog Power Center.
Awesome. Pat, thank you so much for taking the time to show us how people can prevent electrical surge or low voltage at a campsite. I think this is a fantastic product, and thanks for taking that time to explain it to us.
Well, thanks for stopping by.